Hi, Miss Wilson. My name is Renee Ford. I'm on the teacher help team, and we called you here today because you had some questions concerning Marcus, and I'm here to try and help and see what we can do to help Marcus. And so, one of the things that we like to do is start off with something. We know there's a concern, and we know that can tend to be a little negative. So, we usually like to start off with the student's strengths. Could you tell me something that is one of Marcus's strengths?
I sure can. Thank you for meeting with me today. This is a great concern of ours as a team for Marcus's teachers. So I appreciate that. And absolutely, Marcus has many strengths. He's extremely personable. Also, he's great attendance. Um, he comes to class every day. He has many friends. Um, he works hard. He's not a discipline issue. Um, which kind of leads into the concern. He's in class and he's working, um, and he keeps his head down for the most part and stays busy. But in science, and different times, we'll ask for verbal, communication with students, whether it's in the group or we're reading aloud or different things. And when asked to read aloud, that's when it becomes a concern. There was an instance where I asked him to read, and I think that's what really got the ball rolling here, was he was just acting silly and carrying on about the smells that were in the hallway and got the class kind of riled up. And so I just let that go. We moved on. I held him back because I am not the reading teacher. I am indeed the science teacher. And so I held him back a little bit and got him to read just to me, because I thought maybe I could see more about his abilities, or maybe struggles that he was having if I had him just one-on-one. And he continued to stumble over a lot of the words. He stopped and sniffed the air, did anything to distract me or him, anything to put off while he was reading, even for me. So I thought at that point I would continue to just watch him and see how things were going. So I started to notice during independent work as well that he didn't want to do that even alone, which was alarming to me, in that I felt like I was observing him and I was noticed. I thought he was working away, when in reality he was using that ability and friendships that he has, and he's so comfortable with everybody. And I don't think that he's not doing his work that he's turning in. I just feel that he maybe is lacking some self-confidence, and perhaps he is just continuing to ask for assistance.
I gotcha. Okay, so have you tried anything else during class?
Not honestly, not a lot in class. Let's see, we work in groups, and obviously he's comfortable in that, but again, I'm not sure if that's not more harmful than helpful in his instance. So I went to Mr. Lewis, the learning disabilities teacher.
Yes.
And he and I have worked with other students who have had some concerns because reading is his area of expertise. And I thought maybe there was something in Marcus's history that had caused him to have some concerns with this. So after talking to Mr. Lewis, he recommended that I talk to Marcus's parents and maybe see what they could enlighten me on.
And did they tell you anything?
Not a lot. They did say that he had some trouble in the past, but they pretty much agreed with us that, Marcus really seems to like school. He seems to get along with everybody. They haven't had a problem. To which we agreed 100%. Yes, he does. But he's in extracurricular things, and yet, yes, he is. But this seems to be becoming a prominent problem. And as a sixth grader, I'm just concerned that it's going to escalate.
Very much so.
So anyway, I talked to some of his other teachers at Mr. Lewis's request, and they seem to be seeing some of the same concerns.
Okay. Have you done anything, once you've seen the concerns, have you done anything to address the problem?
Mr. Lewis gave me the advice of giving him an informal reading inventory. So I looked at it. I investigated a little bit. It was hard for me to. I could understand it, but it was a little bit difficult to administer. He suggested that I record it, and that seemed very helpful to me because not being a novice at it, it was hard for me to. It would have been hard for me to just administer the test and catch all the errors.
So you were trying to listen to the words.
Right.
And so that,
Yes.
okay,
But having it recorded made it easier for me to be able to go back and clue in on the errors that he was making.
exactly. Okay.
So that's some of the results that we
Okay.
were able to give to the team.
Okay. And then I'm looking at the results, and I noticed that there's really not that much of a deficit when it comes to Marcus. And so because of that, we have some concerns on the teacher help team that maybe we need to look at RTI. And have you started implementing any part of RTI?
We have not other than assistance that all students are receiving in the classroom, not anything specifically targeted for Marcus.
Correct. So we are looking at needing to implement Tier 1 in RTI. And with that, we need to look at instruction that's...
Do you have specific... I guess what I'm looking for are tools that would help Marcus specifically based on these errors, since I'm not a reading teacher.
Correct. Sometimes some of the things that have helped students have been having them buddy up with another student and having that student read just to that one student and not to the whole class.
I see. Okay. And not a group. Just
not
an
a group,
individual.
just an individual, maybe a friend. Then also, once they've been successful there, make it a little bit bigger. People that he's comfortable with in reading. Now,
okay, that could work. I mean, that could work for Marcus because he also, I think that he wants to be successful. He's a pleaser.
yes.
And so I think he's also aware that that's not his greatest strength, and so I think that can help. And I know that he doesn't want to show a sign of weakness in front of his peers, but at the same time,
Yes.
if we start small,
Right. And it is reading. And so the problem is we still have to do it. I mean, we still have to read.
well, and that was my concern when I was watching him, or when he was reading for me with science. The vocabulary that is involved in the science is so large. The words are difficult, but at the same time, the reading is going to follow him everywhere.
Correct.
He cannot escape. And so,
Well, that's good. Another suggestion that I do have real quick is the close method. And
great.
the close method is really good because maybe it's a vocabulary word, and it may be, some of the smaller words. And maybe if you've already gone over them in class, then you could have, when it comes time for that word to show up in text, you could have Marcus, you've already gone over it, you've given him some self-confidence with that word, then maybe you could call on him to read about that word.
Use his example.
Use his example, and then that way, it builds his confidence. And so maybe with the buddy with him and doing, just reading to one person and having that person just help him, and then, giving him the closed method so that,
he has
a forum to be comfortable.
Okay,
anyway,
and then we just monitor that?
Yes, so we're going to be, I need you to monitor this. For the Tier 1 in RTI, we will be monitoring every 3 weeks.
Okay.
Every progress report, we'll be looking at if he's improving. If he's improving, we're going to stay with what we're doing, and if he's not, then we will meet again with the teacher help team.
Okay, and then maybe you have more ideas, or we go for we'll
Correct.
just kind of tweak it, see how it goes. Is that how that works?
That's how that goes. And if you have any questions or if you need any help, then one of us will be glad to come in and help you.
Okay, I'm excited about this. This is definitely a place to start. And I think that these small things can make a big difference for him. Okay, I will be in touch, and I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.